What's up? What's going on? Good evening. Happy Friday. I'm your host, Rosville, and this is episode 13 of Alliance Late Night Pro Wrestling in Everett, Washington. Yes, you heard right. Today, this evening, I'm going to be highlighting the last event that I went to for Peak Sports Entertainment, which was the 15th of March. And the event is titled Saturday Night Hike. This is their monthly event that's been happening. This is my second event with them. And some of the talent that was on the last card is also on this card. Pretty good lineup, pretty good action. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Again, Peak Sports Entertainment, VFW 2100 Post in downtown Everett, Washington is the venue. Unique look. If you've seen the pictures, if you've seen any of the links that I've shared of Peak Sports Entertainment, their YouTube channel, they have the VFW patch in neon above the ring. It's a unique look. There's nothing else like it that I've seen out there. Creates this what's the word, ambiance, but it's really not that. It's something different because this crowd can be something else sometime. They are a unique bunch unto themselves, and since I myself am part of that crowd, I'm a unique fan unto myself. But let's not waste too much time. Let's get into the matches. I have some notes. I'm going to try to stick to my notes as much as possible, but they're all over the place. So bear with me. First up, we have Knyx versus Murphy Madsen. That's the top part of the flyer. Murphy Madsen is on the right. Knyx is on the left. Intergender match going on here. Knyx dubs himself as the guy from the mean streets of Mill Creek, Washington. It's funny to us locals. Almost like Malibu's Most Wanted, if you want to relate it to that, but not that same energy. I don't want to portray that, but you get the point. Anyway, Murphy Madsen, I saw her challenge. I want to say the name was Hall last month. Female on female match, pretty good. Had some nice flow to it. The crowd was definitely into it. The engagement was there. I liked it. I was entertained by that match. Here we have Knyx, who made it a point not to go easy on Madsen. Pretty to the point during this match. Now Murphy did mount up some offense during this match, which I thought was, a good give and take, good back and forth. But nonetheless, here we are in a position where we have the male versus the female, and Knyx has a little bit of an attitude, maybe a little bit of a little chip on his shoulders. So he let that shine through. I won't give up the full results to the match, but I'll just say this: the antics after the bell were uncalled for and unjust, and I will be looking forward to seeing if any justice is served there from the powers that be at Peak Sports Entertainment. Perhaps a rematch, maybe a handicap match, something along those lines. So far, I've liked Knyx quite a bit. I can see something happening there. I'm under the assumption or presumption, I believe recently there was a name change there. I don't know what the name was before. I suppose it's not that important at this point, but it seems like he's developing into his walk and his attire. He comes out with the baseball bat and he has this leather jacket on. When I see this look with him with his baseball cap on. For some reason, if you've ever seen the TV show Z Nation, Zombie Nation, he reminds me of Murphy. If you know, you know. Which is kind of, interesting because his opponent is Murphy Madsen. Which, by the way, I just did a little bit of research. Murphy Madsen also does some appearances down in Oregon. Promotion that I saw was DOA Pro Wrestling. So for any of you down there in Oregon who's checking out this podcast, checking out my channel, be sure to check her out in your area when she comes through and she's added to one of your event cards down your way. Going to the next match, we have IPA, which is pitcher left bottom, versus Young Fly, bottom right. Blackheart Ren, which is the far right guy on the bottom there. I saw him in a solo match last month. Was pretty pleased with his in-ring work. Seeing the tag team function together, I see kind of a high flying act kind of thing going on. Not so much lucha, but definitely, upbeat, up tempo, trying to keep that energy, which was pretty cool. IPA, they're part of the Pipeline. The Pipeline is a faction with Rebel Kale and Miguel Morga. And there's one other gentleman that I had the chance to meet down in Portland for the PW Expo. Sorry, guy, I forgot your name, but you know who you are. These two individuals, they have the whole drink beer and kick you in the face attitude. They come out there and they were a little bit larger than Young Fly. And they took it to him. Took it to him tough. There was a little bit of back and forth. Every time Young Fly, was able to get something going, there was something that IPA would pull off to get the upper hand and regain control of the match. There was a few spots, like I said, Young Fly, they're high flyers, and they were trying to use those skills in this match to get the victory. Toward the end of the match, there was a move. I don't know if it's considered a 450 or whatever the move is. I don't want to misquote moves. I am not a move specialist. Let's just get that out the way right now. But nonetheless, forward flip onto one of the members of IPA. It was a miscalculation. Someone got stepped on in the face. Made me cringe watching it. But the professionalism in the ring, everybody carried on. I could tell that, there was communication going on with the ref to make sure everybody was okay. But nonetheless, this was a match that I like to see ran back. I like to see a little bit more of Young Fly. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Young Fly versus C4 or the competitors that C4 had last month. I don't recall their names right off bat, but I do know that they were making their Peak Sports Entertainment debut out of Canada. Now, I'm not exactly sure what part of Canada, but I know it was out of Canada. So, powers that be, the Booker guys, Peak Sports Entertainment. Maybe something to consider. So, we're going to move on to the next matches here. Again, the crowd was pretty lively. They have now switched to more of an assigned seating setup, which I thought made a lot of sense, especially since it looks like Peak Sports Entertainment is on a roll right now, and they're packing out this venue. So it only made sense to make sure that everybody can get a seat. There's no confusion as to where you should be sitting, and separating standing room only general admission from those who pay for the seating for general admission. So cool to see that. A sign of progress is what I take that as. But again, nice crowd. Next up, we have Grizz Brady versus Chris James. Brady on the left, Chris James on the right. Chris James also wrestles out of Relentless Wrestling in Spokane. I'm not sure the background on Grizz Brady. Excuse me, Grizz Brody. I'm not sure of his background. Pretty built guy. He's one of the bigger guys that was on this card. The initial match was booked and scheduled for one fall between Brody and James. However, just prior to the match, there was a video that was played for the fans in attendance, and Chris James let everybody know that he was a busy man, unlike some of the talent that was on the card that night or any other talent out here in the region. You know, he's a mover and groover. He's got bigger and better things to do, and maybe he'll catch up with him another time. So in his place, by sneak attack, we had the hooligan McGinnis come from behind and attack Grizz. You know, right from the beginning, taking the upper hand. Seemed like there was some confusion as to who he was at first because I believe he had a hoodie on. But once it was clarified by the ref who he was, the match was okay. The bell was rung. Things got underway. Again, McGinnis had the upper hand as he came from behind and tagged Brody. For a good half of the match, he had the upper hand, laying it into him. Good transactions, good transitions. I didn't see anything that was spotty or anything like that. However, Grizz did catch his second win, and at that point, we as the fans were able to see the big fella in there actually demonstrate just how strong he is, and he did just that. I mean, we're talking about impactful belly to back suplex, led by some pretty stiff clotheslines. You know, big man things. Big men do big man things. It was a little back and forth. Kind of was a toss up going into the ending of this match. However, Grizz Brody was able to pull it off and get the 1-2-3 on McGinnis, the hooligan. And after the match, Grizz asked for the microphone and let Hooligan know that he didn't appreciate the sucker punch from behind, and that next time he sees him, maybe he should have Chris James there with him so he can kick the behinds of both him and Chris James, and that he would bring a partner of his own. So perhaps next month we'll see this tag team action happen. Maybe the event after. I had to check with the new promotion that is out. There's a poster already. When I find out, I'll let you find out. Bottom part of the flyer, we have on the right Diamonte versus on the left Saint One. This is a run back of last month's match between the two. I thought was pretty cool. It was a upbeat mid-tempo match. Saint One is a smaller guy. However, the off the top rope cross bodies, your basics, the hip tosses and drop kicks were in there. Saint One can get a little dirty at times. That's okay. Diamante is the high flyer, the guy who will jump outside the ring, jump over the rope, jumps through the rope to get you, which is always a crowd pleaser, when you have to clear out the front row. This didn't have any signs, any telltale signs early on of who would win. It was kind of a back and forth. However, Diamante did gain the upper hand. There was a portion of this match where there was some heavy chops laid on Saint One, and by the end of this match, the chest of Saint One looked like he ran through some sticker bushes. It makes you think about, do you really ever want to be a wrestler? So, nonetheless, the match continues, and Diamante regains his composure after a miscue or I guess he overshot a move. Looked like he was trying to reverse, maybe I think it was an arm lock or something like that. Flipping the opposite way on the ropes, and twice he had to kind of catch himself. But we moved on past that, and he took that frustration out on Saint One. So the end of this match, we have Diamante with the victory, the 1-2-3 over Saint One. Since we've seen this match twice, I say why not run it back a third time? The best 2 out of 3. Let's make good on those pieces of this match that didn't go as planned for either party, or for both parties, I should say. I would be up to seeing it just one more time. Just one more time. Moving on to the next matches here. I have my notes with me. If you can hear that in the microphone, make sure I have it. So we have Anthony Oso and Foxx. Now, the first name of Foxx, I do not have. I've looked everywhere. I do not see it. So my apologies that I don't have that information to provide, but I do want to say this Foxx is not to be confused with Nathan Foxx, who's featured later in this card. So Austin Oso and Foxx meet up with Spiritual Awakening. Gordon Shanley is the one member that I know. He's a taller member of the tag team that you see there, top right of the flyer. He has a unique look. They both do. Their hair pieces. The taller of the two looks like Stewie, or reminds me of Stewie off of Mad TV. They come out there and they're preaching and they're high and mighty, and they're very vocal with the crowd and telling us how we need to get ourselves in line and get ourselves in order. The shorter gentleman out of the tag team comes out with a mega horn like Jimmy Hart, and he lets you know how he feels and how what he has to say. He also was very vocal during the matches. So, in my notes here, this match gets off to an impactful start. Foxx kicking things off. For some reason, Austin Oso insisted on being tagged in early in the match. Foxx was really in control. I mean, there was some get back and being on the defensive, but Foxx, for the most hand, had things under control. For some reason, Oso wanted to get into the match, tagged himself in, from what I saw, and it kind of went downhill from there for the tag team of Austin Oso and Foxx. Nonetheless, his tag team partner cheered on from the outside, tried to get Austin Oso that second win. It never quite caught back up for this tag team, and Spiritual Awakening did go on to take the victory. I would like to see more of the Spiritual Awakening. I'm not for certain. I do know that there's been competition for Peak Sports Championship belt, their main championship belt, and for Dragonplex for their championship belt. However, I do not believe at this time that Peak Sports Entertainment has a tag team championship belt or set of belts. So whenever you decide as a company to hold a tournament for tag team titles, I definitely want to see Spiritual Awakening in that tournament. I would even go as far as saying I wouldn't mind seeing them as a tag team champions, the inaugural tag team champions. I don't want to talk as an insider, so I'm trying to not use certain terms. I'm a fan, and I just know that the response from the crowd with them being the tag team champions of Peak Sports Entertainment, that's money. Definitely money. Just me talking my thoughts out loud, my opinion. Moving on down below, you see, we have a three-way match. And from left to right, we have the Devil Dog, Dustin Mosely. In the middle, we have everybody's favorite homeboy out of Tecompton, Washington, Chris Brady. And on the far right, we have Creed returning to Peak Sports Entertainment. This match was it was moderate in tempo. The start of the match was a little surprising. However, Chris Brady definitely out the gate showed a little bit of control in this match. Mosely having some get back in there. He's definitely a in shape athlete. He looks the part of a professional wrestler. Very vocal in the ring. Very entertaining for myself as a fan. Creed's style actually reminded me a little bit of Nathan Foxx. Super kicks, back kicks, sit down, power bomb. You know, those type of moveset, that type of moveset. For my first time seeing Creed, I thought, you know, there's something there. Definitely. He wasn't garbage. He wasn't garbage. The look that he has going on coming out with the sword, I don't know about that. I don't know. Assassin's Creed, I get it. Got it. Maybe some development there, but nonetheless, I thought this was a good showing for his return to Peak Sports Entertainment. The interaction between the two left an opening for Chris Brady, and there was a double drop kick. Some of the moves that Chris Brady does and pulls off in the ring for his size, I'm kind of shocked. But it's also, as I'm sitting there watching the match, it's teaching me how this goes. Nonetheless, three-way action got a little hectic in there, which typically happens in three ways and four ways, which is not my favorite bookings. I wouldn't book it if I was a promoter, but I understand why it gets booked, especially in independence. And whatever. Chris Brady did come out victorious in this match. And upon the 1, 2, 3 and exiting, came back to the ring, Chris Brady did, and let the crowd know that he had recently been in a motorcycle accident. I guess he got ran off the road by some jackass on the road, not paying attention, being rude and whatever other word I can't think of right now, but inconsiderate. There you go. But nonetheless, whatever injuries that he incurred or happened from that accident, he bounced back in a pretty short amount of time because he wrestled last month. So he wanted to thank the crowd for being there and being behind him, and you know it was his, you know, it's part of his joy to do what he's doing, especially after going through something like that, which is what the message that he relayed to the audience there, and I thought that was pretty cool. One of those moments you need to be there to experience it, type of thing. Thought that was a good gesture on his part. Getting into this guy a little bit more. My first impressions of Brady was that he looked like Tekashi 6ix9ine. He had cornrows that were dyed the rainbow. I didn't know what really to expect. Oh, you're judging the book by the cover. until the bell rings. So I've seen some footage of him as well down in Oregon, and also for DOA Pro Wrestling. And he's getting booked. He's getting to work. So that speaks volumes to his work ethic and his blah 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 in ring ability. Tongue twister today. I don't know why. I don't know if it's. I haven't been talking all day, so I don't know what's up. Moving on. Here in the main event, we'll start with the bottom portion of this flyer. See my notes. We have Sebastian Wolfe on the far left, Matt Bannigan, which is a Dragonplex Dojo champion, pictured middle, and on the far right, Nathan Foxx. This is a three-way dance, and yes, the Dragonplex Dojo Championship is on the line. Before I get into my notes here, I do have a gripe, because last wrestling card for Peak Sports Entertainment, last Saturday Night Hike, Sebastian Wolfe punched his ticket to the #1 contendership for Peak Sports Entertainment Championship. However, this card, we see him thrown into another three-way. I don't know why. I don't know why the #1 contendership was bypassed. I don't get it. Excuse me there. Anyhow, we get into the match, and Mac Bannigan, which is again the Dragonplex Dojo champion, he starts out, he's running his mouth and he's gloating and he's demanding the spotlight and all the attention, and he's better than these guys, and the whole spiel, right? And of course, the other two are looking around like, this clown. He's got a Beach Boy look with a man bun, which he lets down during the match, or it gets knocked undone during the match. He wears this very hippie-ish, it's not even a full robe. What do you call it? It's not a Komodo neither. But anyway, like this half robe thing that he's wearing, and he's acting like he's stripping down to take it off, and the fans are just letting him know nobody came here to see that. And after all that attention grabbing, we get the match underway. Action packed, pretty heavy. You can definitely tell that these individuals in the ring are the talent, that are kind of up there as far as the skill level. That's why they're part of the main event. Sebastian Wolfe was laying it in. This is a strong guy. He's a powerhouse. He made a point to tell me not to show him in promos or to use any pictures of him that are old, because he's like 15 pounds heavier, 15 to 20 pounds heavier. And I compared the pictures. He's not lying. And his in-ring movement definitely shows that. When he's punching you, he's laying it on you. When he's slamming you, he's trying to put you through the ring. When he's suplexing you, he's trying to make sure you don't get back up. And you saw all that during this match. Nathan Foxx, this is my second time seeing him as well. I thought last card, not this card on the 15th, but from last month, I thought he got hurt, and it appeared that he was hurt during the match, but apparently whatever was bothering him, I believe it was a knee, he's gotten over that, and went after it in this match. He definitely was hungry for that championship that Matt Bannigan was holding. But Matt does not want to let go of this title. And if I remember correctly, he had someone accompanying him for this match. Anybody out there who can verify, let me know. I don't think he was out there by himself. But nonetheless, inside the ring, outside the ring, these guys go at it. As one person's ejected from the ring, that gives an opportunity for a one-on-one situation. This is where we saw some heavy knees laid in from Nathan Foxx, as well as some super kicks that, hit the mark. Again, three-way action. You're trying to follow all of it, and it's getting hectic in there. It's not as bad as a four-way as far as trying to keep up with what you're watching. But nonetheless, these guys did their thing in there. I do not remember the exact way the match ended. I just know that Matt Bannigan left this match still the Dragonplex Dojo champion. At the conclusion of this match, Sebastian Wolfe demanded the microphone. It was at this time that he let the powers that be know that he was sick of these three-way matches. He was sick of these four-way matches. He feels like he's been getting the scraps. And even when he's shown himself to be victorious, that he still looked over, which goes back to my point that I made earlier. He just won the number one contendership last month. Why didn't he get a one-on-one match for that championship? That's how you're supposed to do it. So I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I'm not. I'm on Wolf's side. It should have been a one-on-one competition with Matt Bannigan. Nothing against Nathan Foxx, but Nathan, I think you understand and you feel me too. If you put in that work and you earned that shot, it should be you against the champion, because that third person didn't get that shot. They didn't win that opportunity. So powers that be heard Sebastian Wolfe out and came into the ring, grabbed the microphone. The gentleman's name was said, I don't remember his name, but he's one of the bookers for Peak Sports Entertainment. He tells Sebastian, yeah, I understand. You feel this way. You feel that there's not enough competition here for you. You feel like you've been thrown table scraps and you've been bypassed. So since you want some better competition, since you want the best of the best competition, here's what I'm going to do for you. Next month, April 12th, here at VFW Post 2100 in downtown Everett, you're going to be one-on-one with none other than former TNA star, featured in NXT against Obafemi, and former MLW champion that dethroned Jacob Fatu. He's going one-on-one next month with Alexander Hammerstone. That's big. That's big. And all of you out there who follow professional wrestling, I'm sure many of you are like me. You kind of are bouncing around and picking up bits and pieces of different news from different promotions. So I'm sure most of you are aware that Alexander Hammerstone has completed his contractual obligations with TNA. Contract was not renewed for whatever reason, which is for a whole nother podcast, another episode. I'm surprised that NXT didn't pick him up, especially when he was showcased one-on-one against Obafemi. He wasn't victorious, but he was put in that spotlight. So I don't know anything behind the scenes. I'm not Fightful, and I'm not WrestleMania or Cultaholic or any of those channels. Shouts out to them. Why I mention them, I have nothing against them, but I'm not an insider. I don't have anybody who can slide me notes or send me a text and tell me, this is what's going on. But anyway, this is a huge booking for Peak Sports Entertainment. This is a huge opportunity for Sebastian Wolfe, and I can't wait to see it next month, April 12th, VFW Post 2100, downtown Everett, Washington. For more information on how to get your tickets, you can go to their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Peak Sports Entertainment. or you can go to their website, peakprowrestling.com. There's a link, I believe, right on the homepage that'll take you to Brainbuster. I think it's called Brainbuster Sticks to get your tickets online. Suggest getting them early because they will go fast. They sold out for Tom Latimer when he was here last month. This will sell out. Don't sleep. And for the second part of the main event, we have the challenger, Brian Cook, who also was a challenger against Tom Latimer last month for the 10 pounds of gold, went toe-to-toe, stood his ground, hung in there, gave it all he had. But he was not successful in his battle against Latimer. Tom retains. They shake hands and part ways. And what happens right after that? Here comes the pipeline and Rebel Kill to hit a man while he's down, Rebel. Remember us having this brief interaction on Instagram? You hit the man while he was down. I understand your logic. It's easier to hit him when he's on the ground. You're absolutely right, but that's a sucker punch. You know it, and I know it. The fans know it. But he has his shot here against the Peak Sports Entertainment Champion, Rebel Kill. This did not go how I thought it was going to go. This did not go how I wanted it to go. I was sure with the display and exhibition that was put on last month, this display of solid in-ring skills against Tom Latimer, that Brian Cook was going to walk right through Rebel Kill. Just right over her and right onto the title. That did not happen. Rebel Kill was slapping Brian Cook around for a good portion of this match. Slapping him around, chopping him around, dragging him out into the cheap seats of VFW Post 2100, smashing his head on the table, smacking him all the way back to the ring. I just... In order for me to enjoy this match, I had to suspend my opinion about intergender matches. And I had to tune in to the reality of this match as it were being presented to me at that time. Otherwise, I just wouldn't have never even focused on the match. And that's not a knock against Rebel Kill, and that's not a knock against Brian Cook. I just have a preference. But I put that aside to be entertained by this match. And Rebel Kill is absolutely an entertainer. And the fans booed her. The fans let her know how they felt. And she let us know how she felt. Very vocal. I mean, like, this is a fight happening in your living room and she's telling you, you should shut your mouth while I kick this guy in the face. Which pretty much she did. Pretty much she did. There was some points in this match where Cook did get some offense going, you know, getting some get back in there, but we always have the pipeline in the back to support Rebel Kill in her efforts to maintain and retain the gold. Nothing changed here. Absolutely nothing changed. So unfortunately for Brian Cook, you're going to have to try again, pal. You're going to have to try again. I suggest you don't hold back. I know she's a lady. I know she's a professional wrestling woman wearing the highest status in the company. She's the champion. But when she steps into that ring, she's the opponent. treat her or look at her the same way you looked at Tom Latimer when you had the opportunity for the 10 pounds of gold. The same energy that you had against the National Wrestling Alliance World Champion. Have that same energy against Rebel Kell. Now, that's just me talking about you one-on-one with her, but we know you're never going to have that one-on-one opportunity fair and square unless you guys are in a cage. So, figure something out, buddy. You need some backup. I don't know who you're in with there, who you're not in with there, but you're going to have to figure something out because as long as the pipeline, especially Miguel Morga, as long as they're hanging around the ring, your chances are slim to none. Slim to none. So, bookers, matchmakers at Peak Sports, hear me loud and clear. Let's try to get this battle to happen as fair and square. And we don't need a tag team match because Brian Cook is after the gold. He can't win the gold in a tag team match. So can we banish the rest of the pipeline from being ringside? Or can we banish them from being present in the venue during the match? Time will tell. We will see. We will see if that happens. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. That is my opinion. That is what I believe should happen. Let's have it fair and square. Since you want to cheap shot the man while he's down and hit him upside the head with the gold that he didn't win, that he was not victorious in gaining. Imagine. You just had the opportunity of a lifetime to go after the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. And for all your hard work and effort, and even a sign of respect from the champ, shortly thereafter getting smacked upside the head. I'm not really sorry that I'm laughing because it's quite comical. Cook. See, where I'm from, we get down. Somebody does you dirty, you get dirtier. You didn't do any of that. You tried to play it square biz. You can't be square biz against a dirty player like Rebel Kell. She's dirty. She's grimy. And she's proud of it. She's proud of it. That's your opponent. Don't let her being a female distract you from the reality. As soon as the ref is not watching, he will kick you in the nuts. As soon as the ref is not watching again, Miguel is going to punch you in the face, or he's going to grab you by the leg so she can gain the upper hand. And that other little guy, I'm going to start calling him Turtleneck. Turtleneck guy, he's dirty too. He's dirty. Pipeline, we need an answer for you in Peak Sports Entertainment. We need an answer for the pipeline. Who is that? Who will that be? I don't know. But there has to be some balance to this madness and this chaos that is keeping the championship belt on Rebel Kell. My 2 cents. That's my 2 cents. I'm sure I will hear a mouthful and then some about my opinion in regards to, but that's all right. I welcome it. Anytime. I'll be in the crowd. You'll see me. I'll be the only guy there wearing NWA gear. Anyway, that is my conclusion for this week. That was my review and rundown of Saturday Night Hike, which took place March 15th up at the Everett, VFW Post 2100, downtown Everett. Thank you, Peak Sports Entertainment, for putting on this card. I had an opportunity to bring someone or someone accompany me to the matches, and this was their first time checking you guys out, and they were happy with the event. So you have yourself a new fan, and I've continued to tell people about you guys up there. Hopefully, I can get some of my family to come up with me the next go around. They've never been to any of the independents. They're nothing like me when it comes to professional wrestling whatsoever. They might catch a little bit of the big guys on TV, but that's about it. So just know that I'm not only on this podcast spreading the word, but spreading the word locally, through my immediate kinfolk and my circles. That is that. Until next month, April 12th, in the main event, Sebastian Wolfe versus Alexander Hammerstone, I will be saying, see you later. Remember, if you want to get your tickets, get them early. You can go to peakprowrestling.com. Of course, put the www in front of it, and the link is there to purchase your tickets. Also, go find them at facebook.com/Peak Sports Entertainment. I believe that's the same URL for their Instagram as well. And if you're not following me on socials, you can follow me at X at AllianceLN. That's Alliance, the letter L and the letter N. You can also find me on Facebook at Alliance Late Night for both my page and my group page there. I'm also on Blue Sky, which I'm just now getting into. Handle there is Alliance Late Night. I believe that covers it all. You're already here on my YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Leave comments. Even if you have something negative to say or a suggestion for how I'm doing things, leave it in the comments. Help me help you. My job here is to spread the word about the National Wrestling Alliance, as well as spread the word about all my regional promotions. That's Peak Sports Entertainment, Relentless Wrestling in Spokane, Defy Wrestling in Seattle, which travels up and down the coast with their partners, Prestige Wrestling in Oregon, DOA Pro Wrestling in Oregon, PAL Wrestling in Oregon. Am I missing anybody? I don't believe I'm missing anybody. And side note, when it comes to promoting the NWA and reviewing the NWA, I review not only NWA Power, but I also dabble into all the promotions in their territory system. And you're saying there's a territory. You need to get caught up. You need to get caught up on NWA if you haven't been watching. And lastly, if you want to be a professional wrestler, if it's your dream and that's your ambitions, go after it. Don't wait. Do your due diligence. Find a local school. We have Oregon Wrestling or Oregon Pro Wrestling School down in Hillsboro, Oregon. And we also have Grid City Wrestling School here out in Tacoma, which is ran up and headed by Ethan HD. And the school down in Oregon is ran by Ricky Gibson, which is one of the members of the Midnight Heat. Make your contacts. I will be sure to put the links up on my social platforms so you can find them fairly easy. Get things rolling. I am actually going to give it a shot. I may never wrestle a match. But I'm going to give it a shot with training. I have a few things that I have to do, doctor's visits, but I'm going to give it a try. I am not person that settles for just being a commentator or outsider at anything that I do. I used to go to DJ events and watch the DJs, and I didn't want to watch the DJ. I wanted to become one, so I did that. I used to go to house and electronic events and kind of watch how the promoters did things. I didn't just want to go to those parties. I wanted to be the promoter and the organizer. I did that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. It'll be fun and interesting. If I ever get a match, you guys will know about it. Anyway, till next time, be safe, be good, stay out the way because people are stupid. And that's all. I'm gone.